In this video on Ebony the King's Return, we're going to be looking at activity, both this tab here in the Tavern building and just general activities you can do throughout the day to keep yourself busy, as well as bubbling, otherwise known as truce agreement items, how to get those, how to use them. So here, starting with the activity tab in the Tavern building, we have a few different things on screen. So the reset. Every day, your activity points will reset back to 0, and you have to do it again. Each day is going to be your goal to get this bar here, which I currently have 67 points, to get it to at least 145 points or more. You're going to be able to do that by coming down here to this tab, checking out and clicking on each of these, seeing how many times you have to spin the wheel, for instance, to complete this activity. Same goes for patrolling or killing enemies, real players, research, troop training, and so on. You can click on each again and figure out what to do with them. When you've finished them and you've claimed the reward on them, you'll get a tick on it like this, and it'll go down to the bottom. So the ones you haven't completed will always be at the top, unless it glitches out. Once you've completed one, you'll get a chest over them. You can click that, get some bonus rewards for these. And in addition, at 20 activity points, 50, 80, 110, and 145, you'll get bonus rewards that you'll see in here. So there's a bunch of gold available, speed ups, and then finally in the last one, 150 gems plus a bunch of other things, again, including gold. So this is going to be good, especially for free players. Come through here, do each of these every single day, get the gems, get the gold, and that's going to help boost your growth, get you more truce agreements, and cultivate generals especially. So now we're going to be looking at the patrol. So you can do patrols each day. You're going to get various items in here. That's going to save you using gems on some things. Although be careful using gems patrol if you need the gems. Other things, where's the black market? So we got the black market here in the market building. Coming in here and using your free refreshes to buy these that are in resources or perhaps even level 3 things like this, because they're usually cheaper than buying them in level 1s and then composing them together. And you can just go through and do that, although I'm not going to do a refresh with gems. Also using free taxes. I've already used my free ones today, but always coming in here and doing that, that will also get you activity points. If you have the research factory unlocked, coming in here multiple times a day and filling up your slots with materials for generals being made. This costs you nothing, it's just good to keep on top of it. Always coming over to your subordinate cities over here and checking if there's any box here to claim your materials that you get for free over time. Claiming these chests on the wall. Making sure you do the Lion's Help there button. Whenever you get new activities, coming in here and claiming those. Checking your tavern to see if there's any good generals sitting in here. Doing your free levy if you have it in your keep. So now we're just going to take a quick look here. As you see, I have food production boosts on, boosts for other resources also. If you do the black market thing that I just showed you each day, you should be able to, even as a free player, be able to at least most days have a production boost on permanently. Also, my other buff you saw there is by offering. Do that at least once a day, which will cost 25 gems a day. It's very cheap. It's worthwhile for Monarch XP, prestige points to get this level up here, and it will help you with your activity points and also give you a production boost. As you see here, I have about 6 hours left, which again can be seen in the city buff down here, all resources production for offering tribute. I'm just going to take a quick look at the world map for gem mines, which again, for a free player especially, is going to be good for keeping your truce agreements. So here, one of my teammates is in a 1,200 gem mine. These mines will take quite a while to gather from on the world map in comparison to other resource spots, but is obviously going to be worth it for those truce agreements that can be quite expensive. If you're a free player, it can take up quite a lot of your gems that you earn each week. So getting bonus gems each day by sending out marches to gem mines, which is relatively safe because it does not take as many troops to gather the gems. There are researchers available to increase your gem speed, gem gathering speed, so do check that out in the academy. Also, in the Alliance tab, you can scroll down, do Alliance helps if there's any there, claim your Alliance gifts. You can come in here and join any rallies that might be going on also. Especially something to look out for is going to be Alliance Science. So don't do what I'm doing here, but with using the gems. But here you can keep using this donate button to donate resources to your alliance to help them get this thing. Make sure you always do the top one. Once it gets to this, almost 4 hours like this, remember it goes up in 20-minute increments. Don't go above this level. And that means when it goes down 20 minutes, I can donate again. If I'm to donate one more time, it will go red. I'll not be able to donate for an entire 4 hours, or I'll have to pay gems to undo that timer like I did just before. If you're going offline within 20 minutes, you're going to be asleep or something like that, feel free to make the timer red. Otherwise, don't do it if you're going to be online to get some additional ones in. Doing events and things like that, which I'll get into in a moment, you will also get points, but especially through Alliance Science, you'll get points for the Alliance shop. As you see, I currently have 86,500 at the moment, and you can buy a bunch of different things. If you're a free player, you should only really get the truce agreements, maybe tributes potentially. Especially if you're a spender, I just get the tributes because that's going to help you get the prestige level up, which is probably going to be in another video. But getting these truce agreements, you can get a 24-hour for 50,000 points. You might be able to get a couple of these a week, maybe even once your server's a little older, a couple of the 3 days per week if you're lucky. So back in the city here, we have login rewards. So you'll get some gems here, you get some gems on day 7, and if you've offered enough in the shrine at least once a day, which I haven't on this account, you'll be able to get a 24-hour truce agreement from just logging in. Up in the event center here, we have Monarch competition on permanently. The 5th, this is a server versus server, so there's 6, but usually there's going to be 5 events. The 5th one is always a kill event for 3 days. That one will get you more gems, but most events are going to be somewhere in this range, where if you reach the score here at the top, you'll get 600 gems times by 4 events or something. That's going to add up to quite a bit. Some are actually more than this. I think there's one time that might be less. Then the kill event, if you can get to that top score reward, which might be a little hard for a free player, you will be able to get about 1,500 gems just for that each week. To learn how to get the scores, you can look down here. In addition, you can get other rewards depending on where you place. So this is a completely separate reward that is added on top. So even in this particular one, you still get 1,000 for being 30th, as long as your server wins the war. Actually, no, I think that might be glitched, but you still get plenty of stuff through that. If your alliance or server is eligible for Battlefield, you're going to get some gems through that. So do ask your alliance to sign up for that if your server is 60 days old or more. World Boss and Undead event will start at the same time each week, I believe, for all servers, but you can come in here and check the time on it. For instance, this one will begin in about 4 days. It will last for 3 days, then it will be off for 4 days, and that will continually happen. The Undead event, an R4 or R5, will have to start like a leader, will have to start the event manually within the 3-day period. The world boss can be attacked by going on the world map at any time and finding him, um, which I'll just quickly show the button because I know some people might not know. If you come onto the world map and then you click the world map button in the left, and you just scroll around, you'll see this big red flashing icon. That's the world boss, and then you can just click it. Like I can click whatever this bookmark is, and he'll just be there. And you can attack him 5 times with just, let's say, 100 troops. If you are a really low level player that's never going to get in the leaderboard, you can just attack them 5 times with just 100 troops just to get 1,000 gems. If you are someone that's going to be able to get in top 30 at least, it's definitely going to be a good idea to send a larger army depending on the exact boss that is on right now. Ask your alliance for the best type of troop to send, or just send cavalry if you have to. And that's going to get you even more rewards depending on where you place on the leaderboard. Same goes for undead, where you can do it each week. You'll get alliance scores depending on how well your alliance stacks up against others, and you'll get individual rewards depending on how well you did. So bear that all in mind, and you'll get plenty of gems. And last thing I think I've missed out is the wheel in the tavern. As long as you have 500 or less, or maybe it's 400 or less chips left on your account every day at reset, when this reset cooldown goes to 0, you'll get a free 100 amount, which is just 1 spin. You can spin this every day. You can get gems, you can get gold, you can get gear, you can get all types of things in here. Personally, I've spun, according to the game, thousands of times between multiple accounts, maybe even more than that, maybe even tens of thousands of times, and I've never got a general in here. So this isn't going to be the best method. Mostly undead event, monarch events, world boss, and gem mines are going to be your best bet to get those gems. Lastly, we'll just look at the cost of truce agreements. So you're going to have 8 hour for 600, then 1,000, 2,500, and never buy the 7-day unless you really have to. So getting those gems is going to allow you to buy these. If you're in a kill event, for instance, wait until the event has already started, and then use a 3-day. Because it lasts 3 days, that will last you longer than the event is on, and that will keep you the safest. Make sure you overlap bubbles or truce agreements. Don't wait until they're almost over and then do it. Personally, I like to do 3-day bubbles and then overlap them by 12 to 16 hours, just because that's best for me in terms of when I sleep and things like that. But if you're only using 1-day ones, for instance, it might be a little bit difficult to do that, especially as a free player. If I've left any ways you can get gems out that are very good, leave it down below. For anyone that's interested in finding out any other ways, do look down below, see if anyone's mentioned any other ways to get gems if you're still struggling after watching this guide. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below also. Check out my other videos, and thank you for watching this one.